Today we'll be reacting to School Mornings Are Pure Mental Torture. He's speaking facts. What? Oh, shit. My volume is low. He's speaking facts. So, obviously, those that don't know, I am not a morning person. I hate mornings. I'll only do shit in the mornings if I fucking have to. If since my past two videos, I've been complaining about waking up in the fucking morning. Now we're back at night. So, we have more energy. Even though I just woke up from a nap. You got more energy now, so without further ado, let's get to it.
Waking up for school in the morning is by far one of the worst possible experiences that ever happen to the average humanoid. Nothing is worse than getting out of your bed during ungodly hours with Kevin Durant levels of crusty eyes, a numb hand, and a pulsing migraine from the thought of having to get ready to head to Algebra 2 with Mr. Garrison. Hearing those multiple iPhone...
Bro, that freaking migraine, bro. That's the reason. That right there is the whole reason why I'm not. I hate having those early migraines. Those wake up time to get to school, and then you get up immediately. But since you got up so fast, your body ain't awake yet. So now it's like And if you're one of those teachers that are out here going, "Good morning," doing dances in the halls while music is playing, fuck you. I'm sorry. You're probably great at your job. You're probably nice. But fuck you. I got beef with y'all. Way too early to be doing that shit. You was doing that in the afternoon. Okay. Hold on. Hey. But no, at fucking 7 in the morning. Hell no.
Hours with Kevin Durant levels of crusty eyes, a numb hand, and a pulsing migraine from the thought
I don't even get up to do shit at 7 anymore. 8 sometimes. 9, yeah, a little bit. Not all the time. 10. Even then, sometimes I'll still be in bed. The fuck?
Having to get ready to head to Algebra 2 with Mr. Garrison. Hearing those multiple iPhone alarms send pulsating sound waves down my entire body gives me more PTSD than the Avengers witnessing Thanos pull up to Wakanda for the first time. But to really get an idea on just how terrible waking up for school mornings are, we first need to go through the multiple different stages of challenges you'll be facing from the moment you get out of bed all the way till the time your first class starts. Now, in my non-humble opinion, while waking up and getting out of bed is hard enough by itself, the actual gauntlet of suffering that comes as soon as you get out of your bed to start the day is so much worse. Waking up a couple minutes before your alarm is one of the worst moments of this entire experience. Because for one, after it happens, I feel like nuking anything in a...
I actually don't hate that, waking up before your alarm. Because at least you're prepared. Because if you're a real one, you know what I'm about to say. Sometimes when you get woken up for school, that shit is at its pink comfiness all of a sudden. Now you just don't feel like going back to bed.
10-meter radius. But for 2, after you notice you're awake earlier than you expected, you instinctively press the snooze button and start to doze off again and do the mental math on how you can afford just 5 more minutes. Now, next time you open your eyes, it's 30 minutes before school starts, and now I have to speed run my entire routine, and my brain immediately starts calculating how many minutes to spend on every single task. Anyone who also ends up in this situation already knows that the idea of a shower is completely unviable. You better start praying to God that you can wear your deodorant and cologne for the rest of the day without someone catching a whiff of your presence and disintegrating to atoms.
Yeah, because you're fucked. They're going to get that one smell and just go. And now you're known as a stinky boy. Now you know that's a
But let's
secret
assume you manage to get out of bed half awake and step out of your room. The next boss level you will have to deal with is the bathroom. As someone who has younger siblings, the amount of times I've gone to wash my face half awake and barely able to stand, and then come to find out that the bathroom light is both on and the door is locked is utterly criminal. After a certain point, I train my body to instinctively head to the downstairs bathroom and even move my toothbrush, because there is absolutely no way that I was waiting 30 minutes to use the sink because someone decided to play with...
Luckily, I get woken up 30 minutes before and I got extra 30 minutes. That's when my brother would take a shower. Or just be chilling in there. And then, once he's done, then I go in.
bath bubbles for too long. Even if I managed to get lucky and whoever was in there left early, as soon as I stepped inside, I'd find all the hot water gone, a lake on the ground, and the most insane combination of a
I still have hot water.
post-toilet stench that I've ever smelled.
I can't be in there forever, and then it'll be all gone.
Once you're able to get into the rhythm of things and get your fit on, it was then time to actually head to prison. I mean school. Most people, including myself, usually went by bus or car, and then you had the minority that either walked or biked there instead. Something I want to briefly mention is the fact that once you're able to get your license/car at some point during your high school tenure, the amount of stress
never had a license during my high school
that you're able to put off of yourself is actually like life-saving. Not depending on anyone else to take you anywhere, especially school, is such a lifesaver, especially in these kinds of situations. I really want to put a major focus on the school.
You could go get yourself some Mickey D's before going to school. I ain't gonna lie. Instead of begging for your parents.
Bus, because while I personally stopped going on it after middle school, I did not forget the absolute misery that I endured on that vehicle of chaos and destruction. Whenever the bus came to my neighborhood to pick me up, as soon as I got on it, my number one objective would always be to find an empty seat and start catching up on all the sleep I missed. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any more sleep because anytime I laid my head anywhere, I started taking tick damage and was just in pain until I got to school. Another reason sleep was impossible was because
bus rides are always the worst to fucking fall asleep on. Even on the window, you'll just go. But that was the best spot.
Niggas in the back of the bus kept screaming at the top of their lungs at the worst jokes ever conceived. Yo, bro, guess what? What? Chicken dookie butt. An integral part of the school morning experience is the antics of the school bus driver. The amount of goofy and insane stories that occurred while I was still a bus kid bring back some not so pleasant memories. You have two types of bus drivers. The first one is chill as hell and even has conversations with the kids up front from time to time. You walk on the bus and he nods or smiles at you and just heads to school with minimal distractions. Someone could be having a Just Dance competition in the back of the
those bus drivers be lit, bro.
Bus, and as long as they don't personally bother the bus driver, they would get us to school safe and sound without them turning their head back even once. Now, on the other side of that coin, we have the bus drivers that have more crash outs than Benson on a Wednesday afternoon.
What the heck, Rigby? What's the matter with you?
I had a few of those.
Rigby!
I ain't gonna lie.
Now, I get that some people can get very tired and fed up with being at work, especially when you have to deal with kids on a daily basis, but these bus drivers would always be doing the most, especially during morning pickups. While I've had multiple crash out bus drivers over the years, there was this one driver who was like anyone I'd ever seen. He was this middle-aged black...
They be tweaking. Those middle-aged bus drivers would be like this. You're just sitting in your seat, and then you put your foot in the row. Hey, put your feet back in the fucking seat! I ain't trying to see none of that. When knowing damn well those seats aren't even going to protect us either way. I've seen bus crashes, bro. You'll just start flying all over the place. Those shits do not protect you. But the seats in front are... No, they don't. No, they don't.
Guy with a receding hairline and was 5'1", so he was shorter than most of the kids in my grade. Now, for the sake of the video, let's call him Mr. Roberts. There was one time where we were all headed to school, and per usual, some kids in the back were doing some dumb shit and caused Mr. Roberts to constantly look back and tell them to stop, or they would get written up. Now, the kids in the back instantly called cap on this because they've heard that phrase way too many times and have still gotten away with stuff they did in the past, so they thought it was going to be no exception this time, and they just tried to call his bluff. I don't know if something happened earlier that morning to Mr. Roberts, stubbed his toe on the way out of the bathroom or something. But that man was not playing around, because he fully stopped the bus on the side of the road, got up from his chair, and proceeded to cuss out the kids in the back for 5 minutes straight. I could have sworn he was about to pop a blood vessel at any second. You want to know what the worst part was? We were quite literally 1 minute away from...
Hey, by the way, middle of the bus game, where are we at? Middle of the bus game. Okay, best spot on the bus, bro. You're not at the back with those loud annoying kids. You're not at the front. Up in the front. No disrespect to those kids. Y'all are cool. But this is what you would get. Actually. Back of the bus. Loud, rowdy as hell. Maybe sometimes those people would be dickheads. I had personal problems back in the day. Babe, bro. I went on one time. This girl who I wasn't even interested in. And we got assigned seats. You feel me? We got assigned seats. And I was supposed to date this girl. Whatever. Like I said, I was not attracted to her. She straight up said, ew. Put the death down. Yeah. No. 6th grade me at the time. Yes, this was in 6th grade. 6th grade me at the time did not have a fucking backbone, bro. He was a straight up pushover. I get told don't be mean to people, even if they're mean to you, don't retaliate, you tell the teacher. Which, by the way, didn't do fucking jack shit. Shit. So I would get told this mean stuff, and then she would look at me and go, no offense. Which, by the way, take offense to that shit. The fuck? Unless y'all are homies playfully roasting, that's different. Someone says no offense, they mean a fucking offense, bro. I hate that fucking saying, how are you going to roast me and just say no offense? Well, I'm not supposed to get triggered, bro? Fuck? Bro, thank God I'm not a pushover no more, bro. I actually have some respect, bro. Thank God, bro.
From the drop-off zone, and our bus was within walking distance of the front door. Keep in mind, we were already running late to begin with, and these Neanderthals...
And by the way, too, I could fucking say the same thing to her. I wasn't even that bad. Sure, I have fucking glasses. But if it was fucking fine shit, okay. But she wasn't that far from me. Like, come on, bro.
in the back just decided to give us a tardy all for no reason. All y'all had to do was...
It got so bad, she fucking forced me out. Oh. One time, I didn't sit in my sensei. I can't remember why. Knowing that situation, she probably asked me if I sit there. She fucking crossed my name out, bro. Ah, damn. And for a long time, I didn't think of it. And then as I got older, I'm like, I really let that shit slide. That shit crazy, bro.
Stay quiet for 4 effing seconds, and we would have had no issues at all. But they were like, nah, let's just keep acting like hyenas that just discovered food for the first time in 5 days. Finally, after all the tomfoolery that just occurred, we finally make it to school. So, that means everything is peaceful and good now, right?
There's no way out of this.
The morning tomfoolery experience reaches its climax the second you enter the school building. Something I haven't mentioned that makes the school morning experience even more torturous is when you have a test in your first class of the day. The amount of last minute study sessions I had to cram before I went to take my test
Oh my god, bro. Shit. Bro, I ain't gonna chat for all my high schools out there. When you saw finals as freshmen, did y'all get scared of? Were y'all nervous as fuck? I ain't gonna lie, freshman year, you got nervous. And then after that, it just means the semester is almost over. Some teachers kind of take it seriously, and I mean kind of. They do give you a big old test, but it's not make or break. Unless you have a D and you're at 60 fucking %, then it's make or break. And then there will be some, unless, or you'll just have like a C grade or a higher, and it won't affect you. Or the teacher's like, whatever, it just gives y'all some, just will work that ain't going to affect you.
Incalculable. A fear I will never forget is when I was studying to take a test the next morning and accidentally overslept before my alarm could wake me up. I swear, I thought my life was over and I was about to get crucified by my parents the next day once they found out what my score was. Going back to the moment I pulled up to school, you would presume that walking directly to class would be super easy and nothing crazy or strange would happen on the way. But the school hallway has its own set of problems compared to everything else I've talked about so far. We were all aware of the people who make it their mission to make walking to class impossible by moving at 0.1 speed. It's even worse when it's multiple people doing this because there's literally a wall of niggas that you have to try to dodge through just to get to your next class on time. Once I was able to get to class and actually sit down and breathe for the first time in 2 hours, I'd just sit around waiting for us to start or talk to my friends to pass the time. Now, a majority of the time, like I said, I was just waiting at my desk because I had no energy to do anything else. And when that happened, there would always be a loud ass group of girls in the back of the class just talking about God knows what at 7:30 in the morning. Everyone around me is either hungry or sleep deprived, and these people are over here trying their hardest to one-up each other in a yelling competition. Finally, after all the BS is over, the teacher is finally ready to start actually doing something, and the school day finally starts. Overall, school mornings are just a Hunger Games brawl of brutal challenges and obstacles you have to endure on a daily basis that never actually seem to get better. And while you can do things to improve this experience like sleeping earlier and having things ready the night before, that still never directly leads to a perfect or even smooth experience either. You just have to train yourself to push through all the pain and anguish and make sure you actually survive to tell the tale.
No, I don't think I had a school morning story. There was one time in sophomore year where we had a school threat on a Thursday, like a school shooting threat, a few days prior to when it was supposed to happen. Obviously, it ended up being fucking fake. Or maybe not. He got caught before that day happened, so who knows. I think it ended up turning out for it to be fake, but never know. You never know. That happened my sophomore year. Sophomore year was low-key lit with a few of the homies before one of them turned out to be something, but that story will come to another day. Like, we would sit in a cafeteria before, and then we get released to go to class. But since there was so much time, me and the homies would just take laps. We would just fucking take laps until it gets pretty close to time to class. Then we go to our separate ways. So, what was mornings like my junior year? The junior year, we have fucking football, bro. Junior and senior was football. So we was just chilling in the locker rooms. And shit. Locker rooms, there were some sus moments, but there were some funny moments. I ain't gonna lie. And plus, you could at least fucking chill a little bit more longer, bro. that's about it, bro. Anyways, W video, but man, hey, W video, I'm giving this a like. I ain't gonna lie, that was tough. Got me following along very well. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed that video. I will see y'all later. Peace.